Hi, I'm the Rap Critic, and North Carolina, raise up! Oh man, I can't believe I'm just getting to a real J. Cole review thanks to a Patreon request. And man, I remember being a fan of J. Cole before it was cool. And yes, I'm gonna be that guy for a second. But that's because, in a way, I'm proud of him. I remember when people thought of him as just another rapper that Jay-Z didn't promote that well, and now people wait for his albums to drop right next to Kendrick or Kanye. It's just dope to see an artist from your own state make it, especially if they're good. So now that I've gotten my own bias out of the way, let's talk about puppy love. In particular, this cute video of two puppies that has a song playing in the background about a high schooler busting his nut inside someone for the first time. Aww. For real though, you can't just make 4 minutes of baby animals playing around for your music video. In terms of the internet, that's cheating, damn it. Still gonna watch it though.
Man, it wasn't nothing like that first time. She was in my math class. Long hair, brown skin with the fat ass.
I feel uncomfortable with the way this video is sexualizing this dog's butt right now, but I guess it's better than showing an actual high schooler's butt, so I won't complain.
I wrote back and said, of course I had sex before, knowing I was frontin'. I said, I'm like a pro, baby, knowing I was stuntin'. But if I told the truth, I knew that I'd get played out, son.
So here we get to the point of the song. A guy has to pretend he knows about sex because he's afraid his crush won't like him if he's honest about the fact that he's inexperienced. And in this sense, young boys are put in a bit of a conundrum. How are you supposed to learn about sex when no one will teach you about it? See, stuff like this right here is why we need more sexual education. I know I'm totally about to go into a thing, but it's my show. But for real, when I listened back to the song, I thought about something. At what point in the song does he go to an older person who's experienced with sex that he feels safe to talk to? He doesn't, because honestly, that's not really a guarantee for a lot of young people. Because for some reason, the one thing that is literally how everyone exists right now is the one thing people are afraid to teach their kids about. Hell, now that I think about it, I'm remembering now, the most sexual education I got in high school was 1 2-hour block where they sat us in the gym and gym teachers passed out sex ed tests with the sex ed books and told us to look up the answers and write them down in the test. Until college, that was the extent of what I was formerly taught about sex. Good old 40th place in education, North Carolina. You can see why we're desperate to find things to be proud of, so go J. Cole. But yeah, this song really speaks to how curious and desperate young teens are to learn about sex, but no one they trust is willing to actually talk straight with them about it, beyond some flowery metaphors about birds and bees. Hell, I think everyone in their teens has just wanted to scream out, "Can someone please tell me how sex works?" without me having to embarrass myself by having to ask someone how sex works. In fact, now that I think about it, the only time he mentions an authority figure is in relation to potentially being embarrassed by them.
I'm thinking how that body look naked when you laying on the bed. Teacher, please don't make me stand up.
The message here seems straightforward in teens' everyday lives. Sexuality is something to be ashamed of, and adults seem to either not know or care about the embarrassing circumstances they sometimes put teenagers in because of that stigma.
I'm hoping that my is big enough to and most of all, I'm praying God don't let me bust quick. I'm watching pornos trying to see just how to stroke right. Practice putting condoms on, how it go right.
Yep, and this is how we learn about sex. Through porn videos that, by their very nature, misrepresent sexual norms. Happy now, conservative parents of America?
You know that feeling when you know you finna bone for the first time.
You know, this song actually caused a bit of conversation within the J. Cole fandom, since in the song, the girl is also a virgin, as revealed in the last lines.
But right before I put it in, she flinched and grabbed it and said, I wanna get something off my mental. I can tell you a pro, but baby, be gentle, cause I ain't never did this before, no.
And of course, the joke is, he was so worried about having to impress her, he didn't think about the fact that she's having to put up a front too, in order to seem like she understands sex. But when she finally communicates her true experience and her honest feelings, going forward, they're both now presumably able to drop that mask of false confidence, which will now allow them to approach sex in a more honest and open way. But in another song, Too Deep for the Intro, off of one of his mixtapes, he talked about how his first time was with someone he referred to as being slutty, indicating that she's someone who definitely has had sex before. So fans were trying to figure out which song was the truth. But I feel like this earlier line gives it away.
I want it bad, and I ain't never been obsessed before. She wrote a note that said you ever had sex before.
So you're telling me it was her that initiated the sexual conversation? So a high school girl who was a virgin was openly willing to write a note, leaving a paper trail that exposes her willingness to explore her sexuality? Okay, this is definitely a made-up story. What, are you guys living in some weird alternate society where women don't feel shame for their sexual desires unless they're out-and-out whores? Fake. Overall though, I'd actually give this a 5 out of 5. For what it does tell, there's such embarrassingly intricate detail that I can only see it as resonating with teens and adults alike. Teens, because the feeling of that pressure to already be sexually experienced despite there being no formal way to learn about it, it feels so real and comes through on this track, while adults can look back in nostalgia and reflect on just how dumb all that pressure was. And other than what feels like a bit of an underwhelming chorus that just repeats one line, I think it's a solid enough song. Well, that's the episode. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, leave a comment, and consider being a patron of mine. You get episodes early, plus bonus content like segments cut for time and this new podcast I'm working on called Storytime with Guate. Trust me, it's crazy. Go to my Patreon, you can actually hear the first episode for free. Content warning though, it gets pretty real, so if you got the stomach for it, check out all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you later.